Welcome to the Montauk Lighthouse, the fourth oldest continually operating lighthouse in the United States. It is the first lighthouse constructed in New York State in 1796. Legislation was passed in 1792, and construction began in June of 1796. John McComb Jr. was the contractor, designer, and builder who later went on to build New York City Hall in Lower Manhattan. His bid to build this tower, which was originally only 80 feet tall, was $22,300. You can see a lot of changes that were made since 1796, with the addition of the double keeper's dwelling on top of the hill, the brown stripe added in 1900, and on top of the tower you see the additions added in 1860. We are proud to say that in late winter of 2012 we were finally given national landmark status. We are the 11th lighthouse in the United States to have achieved that goal. The stripe is not decorative, it's called a day mark. It was decided by the Lighthouse Board around the turn of the century that all major landfall lighthouses should have a distinctive pattern on them so that ships could identify a lighthouse by day as well as by night. Long Islanders will know that Fire Island has a black-white stripe to differentiate it obviously from Montauk, which has a brown stripe. Perhaps the most memorable day mark is the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse in North Carolina, which resembles a barber pole. In 1792, when this hill was chosen as the site for the federal lighthouse, the surveyor, Ezra Lamdou, recommended that the federal government put the lighthouse 297 feet back so it will last about 200 years, because he noticed there was a problem with erosion. And in 1967, the Coast Guard, realizing that they were eventually going to lose the tower, had a contingency plan to erect a steel tower at the bottom of the hill equal to the height of the old tower above sea level of approximately 165 feet. And instead of using Fresnel lenses, they would install 2 airport beacons which could be open to the elements, that would be on rotating 24/7, flashing every 5 seconds, and that would be the Montauk Light. When the Coast Guard announced that it would probably have to eventually demolish the tower, there was a public outcry to save the lighthouse, which attracted the attention of Georgina Reed. She was about 61 years old at the time, and she devised and patented a method of erosion control by terracing the bluff and getting vegetation to take root, starting at the toe of the bluff and going all the way up the face of the bluff. And she convinced the Coast Guard to give her permission to come on site. She secured the bluff, proved to the Coast Guard the lighthouse could be saved, and the Coast Guard stopped their plans to build the tower at the bottom of the hill. That's a happy ending. It's ongoing though. When we, the Historical Society, took over the lighthouse, we had to make sure that we were going to be here. And so all of our eggs went into the basket of continuing erosion control by constructing a massive 1,400-foot rock revetment. It's a seawall which surrounds the point and which protects the terracing from northeasters and hurricanes, which can take a real bite out of the land. Even with erosion control in place, it still needs to be protected. So today, when you look at the lighthouse from the top, you'll see this massive rock wall surrounding the point of Montauk. We hope you've enjoyed this little visit to the Montauk Lighthouse. If you're living on Long Island, it's a pleasant day's drive, and do come visit us anytime.